Have you ever had that feeling like you're constantly living somewhere else? Not, physically, but up here in your head.
Oh, definitely. Like replaying yesterday or worrying about tomorrow.
Exactly. While your actual life, like this very moment, is just slipping by. That whole feeling of being overwhelmed or mentally time traveling, missing out because you're just thinking about life instead of living it.
Mm-hmm. It's so common.
Well, today we're doing a deep dive into a book that tackles exactly that. Eckhart Tolle's The Power of Now. And this isn't just a recap. We really want to get to the core of it. Find those key insights that have helped so many people.
Yeah, and what's really striking is how relevant it still feels. Maybe even more so now. With everything going on, it offers this clarity that cuts through a lot of the noise we create.
So the central idea Tolle puts forward is almost shockingly simple, right? It's basically, hey, you're missing your life because you're too busy thinking about it.
Right. He says all the good stuff, joy, peace, love, freedom. It's not in the past or future. It's only available now.
Okay, so how does he suggest we actually get there? What are the core principles he lays out?
Well, first, and this is a big one, he says, you are not your thoughts. Your mind thinks, that's its job, but that stream of thinking isn't you.
Okay.
And a lot of our suffering, he argues, comes from believing every single thought, especially the negative or fearful ones. Then there's the idea that suffering arises from resisting what is, fighting reality, basically.
Resisting the present moment.
Exactly. Wishing things were different, arguing with what's already happened or what might happen, and then acceptance. But not in a passive way.
Not just giving up.
No, not at all. It's more like dropping the internal battle, accepting the isness of this moment so you can respond clearly. And that clarity comes from stillness, that quiet space behind the thoughts.
That makes sense. So if we're naturally meant to be present, what pulls us away? Tolle talks about these two key players, right? The ego and the pain body. Can you break those down?
Sure. So the ego, in Tolle's terms, isn't just about being arrogant. It's the false self, the identity you've built purely from thoughts and stories about yourself.
Like, I am successful or I am a failure.
Precisely. It's that voice that constantly compares, complains, defends, wants things. It actually needs problems to survive, because without them, its sense of me feels threatened.
Okay, I think I get the ego part. But pain body, that sounds, well, painful.
It kind of is. Imagine it like an accumulation of old, unprocessed emotional pain. Like a residue of past hurts, grief, anger, fear that hasn't fully dissolved.
Like emotional baggage.
Exactly. But it's more active than that.
Yeah.
It lies dormant, but then something triggers it, maybe a comment, a situation, and bam, it wakes up. And the tricky thing is it feeds on more pain. It wants drama, arguments, self-pity, anything to keep itself going.
Wow. So these two work together, the ego and the pain body.
They're a powerful duo, yeah. The ego spins the narrative, the story of me and my problems, and the pain body provides the intense emotional charge. They keep you locked in the past, rehearsing hurts, or anxiously projecting into the future, always pulling you out of the now.
So how do you deal with them? You can't just fight them off.
Tolle says awareness is the key. You don't fight them, you just see them. You notice, oh, there's the ego wanting to be right, or okay, I feel the pain body activating. That act of witnessing without judgment starts to dissolve their power, because fundamentally the ego is an illusion of the mind, and the pain body is leftover energy. Presence brings light to both.
This brings us back to time, doesn't it? Tolle makes this really useful distinction between clock time and psychological time. What's that about?
Right, this is crucial. Clock time is just practical time. Setting appointments, learning from the past in a functional way, planning for the future. It serves a purpose. We need it.
Makes sense.
But psychological time, that's where the trouble starts. That's when you're mentally living in the past, regrets, resentments, or living in the future. Anxiety, worry, it's not just thinking about past or future, it's being lost in it.
Like obsessive thinking.
Exactly. It's an obsession, not orientation. And Tolle points out that almost all our guilt, anxiety, resentment, worry, it all breeds in psychological time. Because the past is just memory, the future just imagination. When you live there, your body often reacts as if it's real right now.
Which causes stress.
Huge amounts of stress. So Tolle's advice is simple. Use clock time when you need it, but learn to drop psychological time. Recognize when you're caught in it and gently come back.
Okay, so the ego, the pain body, psychological time.
Yeah.
These are the things keeping us stuck. What's Tolle's ultimate solution? What is this now or presence?
Well, the now, as he describes it, isn't really a moment in time, like ticking seconds. It's more like the the timeless space in which all moments happen. It's the underlying awareness,
Yeah.
the quiet watcher inside you that's always there, beneath the mental noise.
And presence, is that
Sure.
different?
Presence is more the felt experience of being in the now. It's when your attention is fully here. You're not lost in thought. Think about really watching a sunset without thinking, oh, this isn't as good as last week's. Or truly listening to someone without planning your response. That deep-rooted attention, that's presence.
So it's like the ego and psychological time can't really operate when you're truly present.
Exactly. They need your unconscious identification with thought to survive. In the pure fan. Now, there's no past identity for the ego to cling to, no future for it to worry about, just being. And psychological time simply dissolves because you're not fueling it with thought. You can still feel physical pain, of course, but the suffering, the mental story about the pain often drops away in the now.
That's a huge shift.
It is.
Yeah.
And the core idea is so liberating.
Hmm.
You don't need to change your entire life circumstances first. You just need to stop mentally leaving the only moment you actually have, which is this one.
It's fascinating because The Power of Now came out in 1997, yet it feels maybe even more relevant today. Why do you think that is, especially with, social media, constant digital noise, everything?
That's a great point. Think about it. We're hyper-connected online, but often feel deeply disconnected, right? Social media promises connection, but often delivers comparison, endless scrolling. It can numb us. Tolle was already warning about the ego identifying with external things, possessions, opinions, status.
Which sounds a lot like chasing likes and building online personas.
Exactly. The curated self, the performance. In a world shouting, look at me, Tolle's work gently guides you back inside, saying, you don't need to prove anything. Then there's the sheer information overload.
Oh yeah, news alerts, emails, notifications. It's constant.
Right. Tolle said the mind used wrongly becomes destructive. We're often not using our minds. We're being used by them, pulled in a million directions. Presence becomes almost like a survival skill in this environment, a way to find stillness amidst the storm.
And what about the modern obsession with speed? Doing more, achieving more, that whole hustle culture.
Tolle nails this too. He says, stress is caused by being here, but wanting to be there. We're constantly chasing the next thing, hoping that will bring peace. But peace, he insists, is found only by dropping the chase, which can only happen here, now.
So the digital age almost supercharges the ego and pulls us out of the now.
It can, yeah. Personal branding, filters, getting amplify that performative self. Tolle's work is an invitation back to your authentic awareness, the part of you that exists before the story you tell about yourself. Even with big global anxieties, climate change, pandemics, his teaching points to an inner refuge, a stillness that external chaos can't actually touch.
It's quite radical, isn't it? Everything modern life seems to reward distraction, busyness, constant self-promotion. Tolle identifies as the source of the problem.
Precisely. And everything he points to, stillness, awareness, simplicity, seems increasingly countercultural, yet more necessary than ever. Being truly present, truly awake in this noisy world, that's become the radical act.
So, thinking about specific issues people struggle with today, anxiety, stress, burnout, how do Tolle's principles act as a direct antidote?
Okay, let's break it down. Anxiety, he'd say, is basically too much future. You're living in mental projections of what might go wrong.
Makes sense.
The antidote. Realize deeply, truly feel that this present moment is the only thing you ever actually have. Come back to your breath. Feel your feet on the ground. Even just 5 seconds of that can cut through the anxious thoughts.
And stress, that feeling of being pulled in too many directions.
He famously describes stress as being here, but wanting to be there. It's that internal resistance, that fight against what is. His antidote is profound. Whatever the present moment contains, accept it as if you had chosen it.
Wow, as if you had chosen it. That's powerful.
Doesn't mean you like it or approve of it. It means you stop fighting the reality of this moment. You surrender the internal war. That acceptance dissolves the resistance, which is the core of stress.
Okay, and burnout, that feeling of just total depletion.
Burnout often comes when doing completely overtakes being.
Yeah.
You're constantly striving, achieving, pushing, forgetting the simple fact that, as Tolle puts it, you are a human being, not a human doing. Presence is the way back to being. It reconnects you with your inherent worth, which isn't based on your productivity.
So fundamentally, it's about aligning mind and body in the same place, same time.
You got it. Suffering happens when your mind is living somewhere your body isn't. Presence brings you home, right here, right now.
Now, you mentioned acceptance or surrender. That's a huge part of Tolle's teaching, but it can be misunderstood. It's not just giving up, is it?
Absolutely not. That's a key distinction. Surrender, for Tolle, isn't resignation like, oh, well, life's terrible.
Yeah.
It's not apathy. It's the simple but profound wisdom of yielding to rather than opposing the flow of life.
Yielding. How so?
It means saying an inner yes to whatever is arising in this moment, exactly as it is, without adding a mental story of this shouldn't be happening. Again, it doesn't mean you like the situation or won't take action later. It just means you stop the internal resistance right now,
Why is that resistance so bad?
because it creates this painful split inside you. There's reality, and then there's your mind fighting reality. That fight is suffering. Tolle says, whatever you fight, you strengthen. Whatever you resist, persists.
So surrender stops that cycle.
Exactly. You drop the rope in the internal tug of war. This immediately brings a measure of peace, stops those knee-jerk unconscious reactions fueled by resistance, and paradoxically, often allows for clearer, more intelligent action from that place of stillness. Asking yourself, can I just allow this moment to be as it is, can be incredibly powerful.
Okay, so practically speaking, when you're right in the middle of a difficult moment, feeling angry, overwhelmed, whatever, how does Tolle suggest handling it in real time? Is there a process?
Yes, there's a very clear step-by-step approach. First, the moment you notice the negative emotion or reaction starting, pause. Just take one conscious breath. That creates a tiny gap.
Okay, pause. Then what?
Second, shift your attention away from the thoughts about the emotion and into the physical sensation in your body. Where do you feel it? Chest, stomach, throat. Just feel the raw energy without labeling it good or bad.
Feel the sensation. Got it.
Third, you can gently name it, but as an observation, not an identification. So instead of, I am angry, think or whisper, ah, anger is here. See the difference? It creates distance. You're witnessing it, not being it.
Oh, okay. Observe, don't identify.
Fourth, allow that feeling, that energy to just be there. Stop resisting it. Breathe into it. Let it be exactly as it is for a few moments. And fifth, once you felt it fully without adding thought, then you can choose how to respond. Ask yourself what action, if any, is needed now. But you act from that place of presence, not from the reactive pattern.
Why does this work? Why not just try to suppress the feeling?
Because, as Tolle sees it, emotions are just energy in motion, emotion. Trying to suppress them is like trying to hold a beach ball underwater. It just builds pressure. Witnessing them, allowing them to be felt as pure sensation, lets the energy move through you and dissipate naturally, rather than getting stuck and recycled by your thoughts. It's a shift from wrestling to witnessing.
That makes a lot of sense.
Okay,
Let's get really practical now. If someone listening wants to start applying this today, what are, say, 5 key actionable takeaways from the power of now?
great idea. Okay, takeaway number 1. Remember, you are not your thoughts. Start practicing observing your thoughts without getting caught up in them, like watching clouds drift by. Just notice them. That space you create, that's the start of freedom.
Observe thoughts, don't follow them. Okay, what's next?
Number 2, focus on this moment fully. Pick one simple routine task you usually do on autopilot, brushing your teeth, washing your hands, making tea. For just those few minutes, give it your complete attention. Feel the sensations, notice the details. It anchors you right here.
One task, full attention. Love it. Number 3.
Third, interrupt the ego's story, especially complaining. When you catch yourself complaining, mentally or out loud, just pause and ask yourself, is this story actually true right now? Or is it just a mental narrative? This simple question can shift you out of victim mode instantly.
Challenge the story. Nice. Number 4.
Number 4, feel your emotions. Don't just think about them. When a difficult feeling comes up, resist the urge to analyze it or blame someone. Instead, locate the feeling in your body. Breathe into it. Just be with the raw sensation for a minute or two. This helps dissolve the pain instead of feeding it with thought.
Feel it, don't think it. Okay, and number 5.
And number 5, maybe the simplest and most powerful, return to the breath. Your breath is always happening now. Set a timer for 1 minute, close your eyes if you can, and just follow the sensation of your breath moving in and out. It's your portable anchor to the present moment, always available.
Those are brilliant. So simple, yet you can see how they'd make a difference. Are there other specific exercises Tolle recommends?
Yeah, he offers several practices. Watching the thinker is basically cultivating that observer role we talked about. Feeling the inner body is about shifting attention from outside stimuli to the subtle feeling of aliveness within your body, hands, feet, torso. It's very grounding.
Inner body awareness. Interesting.
Breath awareness is key, as we mentioned. Listening with full attention is another, really being present when someone else is talking, without formulating your reply, just being open. And a more advanced one is being the space, not the object, becoming aware of the awareness itself, the background stillness in which thoughts and feelings appear and disappear.
Okay, so we have these principles, these exercises. How do we weave this into the fabric of everyday life? The commute, the chores, the work grind.
That's where the real magic happens, actually.
Mm.
Totally emphasizes that presence isn't about finding special moments. It's about bringing presence to ordinary moments. So your commute. Instead of zoning out or getting stressed, maybe turn off the radio for 5 minutes. Feel your hands on the wheel. Notice the light. Be aware of your breathing.
Instead of fighting the commute, be in it.
Exactly. Washing dishes, instead of rushing through it thinking about 10 other things, feel the warm water, hear the sounds, smell the soap. Treat it like a mini meditation.
Okay.
Working at a desk. Take one conscious breath before you dive into email. Maybe set a subtle reminder, a chime on your phone every hour to just pause for 30 seconds, feel your body in the chair, notice your breath, sipping your morning coffee. Don't just gulp it down. Feel the warmth of the mug. Inhale the aroma. Taste it slowly. Make it a little ritual of presence.
So the message is, don't wait for the right moment for presence.
Right. Make this moment the right moment by meeting it fully. The mundane stuff isn't an obstacle to presence. It's the practice ground. It is the way.
It's interesting to think about where Tolle fits in, with other traditions like Buddhism, Stoicism, or even modern psychology and mindfulness. Does he draw from them? What's his unique angle?
That's a great question. He definitely didn't invent these ideas out of thin air. You could see clear resonances with ancient wisdom, particularly Buddhism, the idea that suffering comes from identifying with the egoic mind and that awareness is the path to liberation. His watching the thinker is very similar to Vipassana meditation.
But he presents it differently?
Very much so. His genius, I think, is distilling these profound truths into incredibly simple, direct, modern language, often stripping away the cultural or religious frameworks. He makes it very accessible, almost bypassing the intellectual analysis and pointing directly to experience.
How does it compare to something like Stoicism? They also talk about acceptance.
There's definitely overlap with Stoicism's emphasis on accepting what you can't control, the isness of things. Stoic equanimity is a kind of cousin to Tolle's presence. But the method is a bit different. Stoics often use reason and logic to manage emotions, whereas Tolle emphasizes dropping below thought into pure awareness, into stillness.
And modern psychology, like CBT or mindfulness-based therapies?
There's strong alignment there too, especially with the core mindfulness insight that thoughts are not facts. Observing thoughts without automatically believing them is central to both. Tolle, though, perhaps adds a more, let's say, mystical dimension, pointing not just to cognitive restructuring, but to realizing your fundamental nature as the awareness behind the thoughts, a connection to being itself. He's less a therapist, more a mirror reflecting your own deeper consciousness.
That makes sense. Now, as powerful as these ideas are, putting them into practice isn't always easy. People must run into challenges, right? What are some common misunderstandings or roadblocks?
Oh, absolutely. A big one is, I try to be present, but I can't stop my thoughts. I must be doing it wrong.
Yeah, I can see that.
The key here is that it's not about stopping thoughts. Thoughts will happen. It's about stopping the identification with them, not getting carried away by the stream, just noticing, thinking is happening, and gently returning your focus to the breath or the inner body. It's the noticing that's the success, not the silence.
Okay, so don't aim for a blank mind. Another one.
If I accept everything, won't I just become passive? Won't I let people walk all over me?
The passivity concern. Right.
But Tolle is clear. Acceptance is inner alignment with the moment, not resignation to a bad situation forever. It's about dropping the internal fight first. From that place of clarity and non-resistance, you can often see the wisest course of action much more clearly. Action taken from presence is usually far more effective than action taken from reactivity or resistance.
So acceptance enables wiser action. It doesn't prevent it. What else?
People often say, I keep getting pulled back into the drama, into my old patterns. And the answer is, of course you do. It's deeply ingrained. Presence isn't a one-time achievement. It's an ongoing practice. The crucial thing isn't never getting lost. It's noticing when you're lost and gently, kindly bringing yourself back. Celebrate the noticing.
Be kind to yourself in the process.
Exactly. And some find it too abstract. They ask, how do I know if I'm present? The simplest answer is, if you're aware that you're breathing, if you can feel your hands or feet right now, if you're noticing thoughts without being totally consumed by them, you're touching presence. It's not some mystical state you have to achieve. It's your natural state underneath the noise.
Right.
Start small. with tiny anchors.
And what about intense emotions, grief, deep anxiety? Does presence just make them disappear?
Not necessarily disappear, but it changes your relationship to them. Presence doesn't mean you won't feel pain. It means you learn to hold the pain with awareness and compassion without adding layers of mental suffering on top. You become the spaciousness around the feeling rather than being completely overwhelmed by it. It allows the feeling to be processed without getting stuck.
That's really helpful. It's about the relationship to the experience, so it's a journey, not a destination.
Precisely. You're not behind, you're just where you are. And every breath genuinely is a fresh start.
Okay, so if this deep dive has resonated with people, if they want to explore this further, what's next? Where can they go beyond this conversation?
Well, sticking with Tolle, his book A New Earth is a fantastic follow-up. It goes deeper into the ego, collective consciousness, and purpose. It was famously discussed with Oprah, and those conversations are available too. For shorter, more poetic insights, Stillness Speaks is wonderful.
More Tolle is a good start. What about practices?
Definitely building a consistent mindfulness meditation practice can make a huge difference, even 10 minutes a day. Apps like Insight Timer, Waking Up, or Calm have guided meditations that align well. Also, maybe try presence journaling. Instead of just writing about events, write about your state of being in the moment, what you notice through your senses, your breath.
And maybe exploring other related teachers or philosophies.
Absolutely. Thich Nhat Hanh's work on mindfulness, like The Miracle of Mindfulness, is beautifully simple and practical. Byron Katie's The Work offers a powerful method for questioning stressful thoughts, which complements Tolle nicely. And of course, the classic Be Here Now by Ram Dass captures a similar spirit.
Lots of avenues to explore, but maybe the most important step is just applying it.
Exactly. Don't just make it an intellectual exercise. The real invitation is to create those little moments of now throughout your ordinary day. That conscious breath before picking up your phone, feeling the water when you wash your hands, pausing for 3 breaths at a red light.
It's not about adding more doing, but about adding more being to what you're already doing.
You've nailed it. It's about bringing awareness into your life, not escaping it.
So the final thought here, the big takeaway, feels like this. You don't have to fix your past or perfectly map out your future. The real work, the only place life truly happens, is right here. You just have to stop abandoning the present moment. Stop leaving yourself. Because in this breath, in this awareness, everything is possible. From here, real change can unfold.
Beautifully put. And maybe just notice the next ordinary moment in your day. Sipping tea, waiting in line, walking somewhere. Let that moment be a little doorway. A doorway back to yourself, back to stillness. Because the mundane, when you touch it with presence, it really can become quite miraculous.